Hey everyone, we recently dropped an update into the Lead Capture IO platform to help you improve your workflow around capturing all forms of consent from not just TCPA consent, that's where we started in November, but also CCPA, GDPR, Canadian anti-spam, A2P SMS consent, and whatever other custom consent or disclaimer text that you need in your inbound lead generation forms. Now, for those of you who remember back in November through January, we spent a lot of time on TCPA consent, especially one-to-one dynamic consent, making it possible to ping a lead distribution tool like a lead prosper and dynamically pull company name and phone numbers into this area to then post it back. The court struck down one-to-one consent, and we still saw people adopt it, which I think is pretty interesting. But we also saw an opportunity to build out more consent templates for other forms of consent because we were fielding questions like, what about CCPA? How do I word CCPA text? Or what about GDPR? How do I word that? And how do I even put that into my lead capture forms without killing my conversion rates? So we found that people spend a lot of time thinking about this stuff and getting stressed about this stuff. So we figured that we would just expand the consent section to make it about more than just TCPA and add in these templates that you can easily drop right into your lead capture form. So again, we started out with TCPA, but now we have these additional templates. And we will continue to expand this and build it out. So that is the first side of this. The second thing to note is that in addition to making it easier to just drop these templates right into your lead capture forms to help save time and improve your workflows, you can also store consent inside of Lead Capture IO once it's captured for all of these additional consent regulations. So when we launched our TCPA consent, we also launched a feature where we capture that consent and store it for 5 years inside of Lead Capture IO. We are also extending this functionality to the other consent legislation here. So this way, you will always have a record of that opt-in consent from your leads. And this will help you in the event that maybe a lead comes back to you and they say, I did not consent to be contacted by you. Well, now, as long as you have that lead record stored inside of Lead Capture IO, you can pull it up and actually verify that they provided that consent to you. And you can even show that to the person who's saying that they did not provide consent, or if a terrible situation happens where there's litigation against you, you will now have that record of consent. And I'll show you how that works real quick. Let's just go through, submit a lead capture form. I'm going to use CCPA consent here. And then I'll show you how it works from submitting the lead to capturing the consent and tagging it and storing it. So first, I'll just start going through this lead capture form, just putting in some data here inside of Lead Capture IO. All right, I've hit the last step of the form. Here is the consent text for CCPA. I will click Get My Free Report. Now, in this case, I'm verifying the phone number. This is a really good way to ensure that you're getting high contact rates and keeping all that form spam out. All right, I just verified. Now let's jump back into the Lead Capture IO platform and look at what just happened. So if we go here and go to the My Lead section here, you'll see here's the lead that just came in. And in the column to the far right, there's this consent section. And you can see that we just tagged this lead as having confirmed consent. And if we were to click into the lead record, you would actually see that we also captured the opt-in text, and that is now stored inside of Lead Capture IO in a tamper-proof system, and it can't be manipulated, it can't be changed, and you will always have that record of consent for at least 5 years. So we now are capturing the consent for all forms of consent. We're tagging it. Those tags can also be passed into your CRM and lead distribution tools. And this should just be a great way to really improve your workflows and get peace of mind that you always have all forms of consent captured, stored, and tracked.